Welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. This one is recorded much earlier, so I'm drinking coffee. I'm not sure what Phil's drinking.
I got water.
Got water?
Yeah, that's water.
Not
a little bit of the H2O.
What did Delino have last week? Makers? No makers in there?
Smirnoff Ice, I think he said.
All right, so we are going to go right into this episode, and this is going to be a quicker one, and it's going to be really fantasy studs and duds, winners and losers
little
for this
recap,
week.
right?
Yeah, little recap. Honestly, as far as football watching, it was a great week. A lot of really fun games to watch. Some stinkers, too.
No, it was good. A little anticlimactic at the end.
Yeah, Sunday night's game.
Oh, my gosh.
God, that was terrible. I tell you what, the Buccaneers, and I don't care. I have a lot of Buccaneers fans listening.
Yeah.
You can't beat a good team. It's as simple as that.
It's strange.
It's, when I look at them and say, can they win the championship, which I think is what they built for, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that they can. They have lost to the Saints twice, and they've lost to the Bears once. The only great team, I think, that they beat.
They should have lost to the Giants, too.
Yeah, you're right. They should have. The only great team they beat was the Packers, and they beat them pretty soundly.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in them yet. And Mr. Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, he looked bad. He had a couple costly interceptions.
Yeah, I seen a stat that said, I think, 4 or 5 games this year, he finished 19th or lower in fantasy QBs. So seems like a
inconsistent.
Real volatile with him.
Yeah. Phil, so talk about what a year, and maybe we should go category by category. So talk about for your wide receivers, some of the ones that you felt were wins and some that you felt were losses.
I was expecting more from Diggs, especially with today. I mean, let's go back and think about what I said about Allen going into this week.
I know, you called it.
But with a game like that, I would have expected Diggs to do a little. I mean, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, he was good, but he wasn't great.
Yeah,
and on a day where they score that many points, you think one's going to go.
Lockett was another guy. Metcalf's really stringing together.
Yeah,
nice
I think right now,
here.
In our league, 23, almost 24 points. You get that from a wide receiver, you're happy.
Keenan Allen.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah. What do you have? 103 and 9 or something like that?
He's a man, and the thing is, what I like about him is he is not touchdown dependent, and when he does score, it's just the icing on the cake. But he's getting on average 15 points through receptions and yards.
Yeah.
And then he gets stoned. This week he had 27. He's a number one receiver for sure.
Adams, no brainer, right? I mean, I think he's been 1, 2, and 2 the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's on fire for sure. It doesn't seem like anybody else within Marquez, Valdez, Scalding had a decent game.
Guy.
Yeah, decent game, but it's really Adams. Starts with Adams, ends with Adams.
Yeah.
How about Will Fuller? Another, I think I mentioned him last week.
Will Fuller, yeah.
Yeah, 5 straight games with touchdowns, make that 6.
And Cooks looks pretty good too.
Cooks is he's a sneaky receiver.
Yeah, especially the last couple of years. He's been pretty consistent, which is a little bit different than the years before that where he was kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
What about Robbie Anderson? I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
What's going on over there? I think the last 5 weeks he's become the third option.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing, he's still putting up
decent numbers.
You could start him.
Yeah.
But I think Curtis Samuel is probably the guy going forward.
I think Robbie Anderson is probably the wide receiver 2 or 3 on your team. He's a good number 3.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuels is actually going to be one of my waiver wire pickups.
Okay.
He is consistent, and he's good. And at Ohio State, you look at his final season at Ohio State, he caught and ran and did everything. He even threw. I think he had 5 passes that year. He is starting to morph into that. There's probably been nobody helped more by McCaffrey's injury than Samuels, because Samuels mirrors some of McCaffrey's skills, and they got a chance to watch some of those.
And he had a few carries yesterday too, right?
Oh, no. He's a great Ohio State ran a jet sweep, either a quick pass or he's a solid guy for sure. Nobody
in that Pittsburgh game, I was for sure.
I mean, Schuster did okay, right? 21 points.
Yeah.
He's maddening because you don't know when to start him. And I think that would be the case with the entire Pittsburgh receivers. When is Claypool going to hit? When is Johnson going to hit? When is Juju? You don't know.
Oh, well, Claypool.
He was consistent.
He was better than I thought he was.
Yeah. And it was
I missed some
Johnson
of these games. I've been car shopping, so.
Yeah, I know. You're getting that Jaguar?
Jaguar.
F pace, F whatever.
Yeah, 2006.
All right. How about one I was pleasantly surprised at was DJ Shark. 28 points, real strong game.
Yeah.
Part of that was...
Big play, but yeah, he was still targeted a bunch.
Well, and his counterpart, Chanel.
Oh, yeah, he's hurt. Yeah,
and I think that helped.
Does he have an ankle? I forgot.
I couldn't keep track this week of all
There's a lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries, yeah. And then the final one I had, and I don't even know if we need to mention him anymore. If Adams is a number one, then number two has got to be Tyreek Hill. Just consistent.
Yeah.
He gets the numbers, he gets the yards and touchdowns.
I'm not a Hill fan, but yeah. I can't deny
it's
the numbers. I'll just throw this out there too, Thielen. I mean, he started off the season pretty hot, but since Cook's come back, it's kind of been a little... might be looking to sell here before the trade deadline.
Yeah. You want to go into running back since we're talking about Cook?
Oh, man, Cook is cooking.
Okay, last 2 weeks, if this played out the entire season, Cooks would run for 2,600 yards and something like 32 touchdowns. Now, it's not, but it's been a pretty strong couple weeks.
So, well, he changes that team. They're a playoff team when he's playing, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think he gives, for whatever reason, he gives Cousins the confidence to do Cousins. And if you look at his schedule over the next several weeks, against the Bears, the Cowboys, the Panthers, the Jaguars, those four are okay at best against a run. They don't come up against another strong run defense until the Buccaneers on December 13th. So he would be somebody that I would be probably trying to add.
Yeah, he's a league winner if he doesn't get hurt.
If he doesn't
and
get
how
big.
good is he, man? Just how he's...
Yeah, he's got a little bit of everything. I mean, I think he's as good as McCaffrey. I think he's as good as...
he's consistent and he's a home run hitter at the same time. It's pretty...
Yep.
Wish I had him.
Who else did you... McCaffrey, you called it. He had a great game.
That was nice.
And now he's doubtful for this next week.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
I think he's just hurt. I think it's
a shoulder.
And I think they rushed him maybe.
But it's a show. I mean,
it's a different injury.
Bad luck, I think.
Yeah, maybe so. I think this. We know one thing about running backs. They have run that guy into the ground. And you just can't do that long term in today's NFL. So.
Well, to pivot off that, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
What a terrible.
Yeah. Yep, I have him in my league.
And you're talking about Cook. Cook does play. They play the Bears next week, right? So, you take that with a grain of salt. You're going to start him, but those other four matchups,
Two others that are not any surprise: Alvin Kamara and James Robinson. Another solid week, and
25 touches, right?
There are people that when you see the points, you can't correlate it with how they looked. You're like, how do they get that many points?
Yeah.
They're Montgomery every week. James Robinson, when I see him run, I say, how did this guy slip that far? He hits the hole hard. He's unafraid of taking a hit. He can shed a tackle, and he's got enough wiggle to get around it too. To me, if you can get a hold of him on a long-term contract, you got to do it.
He's got a few tough matchups coming up. I was looking. I don't remember. Do you have the schedule? Let me pull up the schedule.
Yeah, you can look at the schedule real quick.
Yeah.
Jaguar. the Jaguars.
Pivot to somebody else. So, I mean, Nick Chubb's coming back. DeAndre Swift, that didn't work out too well. He got like 12, 13 points.
It is time to park that car in the garage, buddy.
I don't know, man.
Swift is done. It's not him. He looks good.
Edmonds wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Got you double digits. Josh Jacobs, just being Josh Jacobs.
It's time for, in fact, I had him on my duds list.
Yep.
Where he was drafted, what you paid for him, he's a scrub.
Well, especially when you see Devin Booker taking it in from 20 yards out.
Yep.
In the first quarter.
And it shows you that there, I think I mentioned this last show, I traded him away because it wasn't that he wasn't getting the numbers.
Yep.
It was, I didn't like how he looked getting the numbers. It seemed like the Gruden's kind of going away from him.
Like fluky.
Yeah. Gurley, what do you think about Gurley? Yeah, I hate to see it. He's
the guy, your call, you made the right call on Hill.
Yeah,
he looks better than him.
He looks better. The unfortunate thing is he's not getting the touchdowns, and Gurley is.
Well, that's what we said it was going to be. I mean, what's his contract?
Gurley's 1 year.
Oh, so he's out of there after this year.
I think though, as from a fantasy standpoint, if you're going to start one, you got to start early and hope for that touchdown. But he's on my dud list because he got 13 points, which isn't terrible, but he got a touchdown. That was it.
And how do you feel about that Patriots backfield?
I'm a big fan of Damian Harris. He's had now, since he's come back from injury, 4 weeks where he's a starter if he could score. And they just don't put him in.
Well, you got Cam Newton.
You got Newton. They put
Burkhead in,
and then you got James White catching sometimes from the goal line. But it doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost counterintuitive for Belichick to do it because he's a big back. He's a bruising back. Yeah. He's quick. I don't know why you remove him from the goal line unless there's a fumble issue that we don't see.
I just think that the running back is Cam on the goal line in most cases.
Yeah. Who's, by the way, he's a dud of mine as far as quarterback.
I'm with you as far as quarterback play, but as far as production, I mean, he's going to get, when they get in the red zone, he's going to get at least one attempt to try to punch it in. Yeah. So, I mean, he cashed in last night. Yeah. I mean, it's not pretty, but he'll get you where you need to go.
A couple other noticeable disappointments this week for me were Antonio Gibson and Edwards-Helaire. And I know that.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, he's out.
I'm out.
And Gibson, what scared me about him.
And they're not running the ball either.
Is McKissick. Like, I hate when you've got Gibson's look great and all of a sudden they start feeding the ball to McKissick.
Well, Gibson fumbled on the first drive, so that might have had something to do with it. And Ron Rivera, he's a old school guy. So I wouldn't read too much. I mean, Gibson has not just looked good. He's looked like the guy that they want to be, the 3-down back. He's gotten. Yep. So I don't know how much I would worry about McKissick. If we see the same thing another week, then maybe look at it a little different.
What about for your QBs? What are your studs or duds?
Studs, man. I mean, we'll start with Murray.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that guy's fun to. It's just football. That guy's fun to watch.
What I was thinking as I was watching that game. Uh-huh. If my running back got me 116 yards and a touchdown, I would be over the moon about it.
Yeah.
If my quarterback got me over 250 yards and 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, whatever he got, I'd be over the moon when you combine those two. I don't think he'll have a long career, but I think he's the number one quarterback. Or
why do you say that? Injury or
just he's a small guy and he's good at.
He seems like he doesn't get hit much though.
No, he doesn't. He's real good at knowing when to slide and getting people to glance off him.
Yeah,
but I just think,
and he throws from the pocket.
He does. Yeah, he doesn't look to run.
He's better than Lamar Jackson right now.
Oh,
already.
Gosh, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
easily. That's man.
But he is 5'8" or 9" or whatever he is. He's a short guy.
I mean, so am I. Anyway, Jared Allen.
I don't trust short people.
Jared Allen was right there with him.
Yeah, no, 45 points. Yeah,
that defense.
Yeah, Seattle
start
sucks.
any quarterback going against Seattle defense that's not named Joe Flacco.
Seattle has won one Super Bowl with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Name a complete team that guy's ever had. It seems like they either got a good offense and no defense, or they have no receivers and they have a great defense. Like, it doesn't seem like they can put it together for them.
I think through the first 9 weeks, the stat I seen was that they're the worst pass defense in history.
Yeah,
and by points too.
Yeah,
and the second through the first 9 weeks actually is the Falcons.
And then the Browns are probably
in the same year. I don't know. I didn't see the Browns, but
all right,
you can start anybody against them. Anybody.
Rodgers was another win for me again. I mean, he's had a rebound season. Looks amazing.
Yeah, and we got the over on that game too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, I had.
Watson, another solid game.
Yep, solid game.
Herbert,
Bridgewater.
Air Bear.
Another Air Bear.
For 24 points.
I'm a believer in Air Bear.
Roethlisberger showed up.
He did get hurt though, but I think he's going to be okay in play.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he gets hurt all the time. The one surprise I had, and I put no faith in his performance, is
Drew Lock.
Let me tell you what. He sucks in the first half, really the first 3 quarters. Yep. And then it's like in the fourth quarter, he remembers how to play football, and then he looks amazing.
But yeah, I mean,
going into that fourth quarter.
2-3 times now, right?
Yeah, he has. Yes. But the Falcons let people back in the game.
Yeah, they're the second worst in the history through 9 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, but he did it last week. I still have my reservations about starting him.
Yeah.
Tagovailoa looked good.
Yeah, he did. Look good. I mean,
a lot better than he looked his first week.
I think you have to say Miami is a solid team.
Miami's going to the playoffs.
Yeah, both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I would pick them over any of the other teams that are sniffing the playoffs like them, the Browns. That grouping, Miami looks the most put together.
And if Tagovailoa could...
It developed.
I mean, he looked good. He looked like a quarterback.
Yeah.
The ball, accurate throws.
His issue was
getting
never
yards
accuracy.
On the ground.
His issue was, can he throw when he's only got a second and a half?
Yeah.
But he's proven to look okay.
He looked good.
Yeah.
He went toe-to-toe with Murray. So
it's if the Browns made the playoffs, what they've showed me is any great team is going to smoke them.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins, however, and not the case.
Yeah, they've played up to their competition for sure.
Yep.
Derek Carr, a little bit of a letdown this week.
Yeah, he was on my duds list. I also put Lamar Jackson. Tired of it with this guy.
Yeah.
He's on my duds list.
Bridgewater. The kid, Jeff Gluten, he had a pretty decent game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Cam, 25 points. Cousins got you 20. But I don't love Cousins because he's not running. He's just...
There was another one on my duds list, but I don't think you want to mention him.
Who, Daniel Jones?
Danny Dimes. Yeah.
Hey, man, I don't worry about that. If we get the W, I'm all good.
Yeah, but I wouldn't I wouldn't start him as a quarterback.
No, I wouldn't start him right now either, honestly.
Phillip Rivers had us believing 2 weeks, 3 touchdowns plus, and then it looked terrible.
Yeah, that was the one pick I made that didn't
pan out.
It looked good the first half.
Didn't look good the second half.
No, it did not.
Tom Brady, 2 points. Jeez.
Well, I think Lamar Jackson had 0, right?
I didn't. He's on my duds list.
Yeah, I think he had 0 points.
But Brady, what he's shown is he can look good, but when he doesn't look good, he's thrown interceptions, which we didn't see in New England at all. He was.
And he has much better talent now.
He does.
It just doesn't...
Better receivers. He has a weak line.
Yeah, I mean,
but he has at least as good of a running game and better receivers.
Father Time.
Tannehill
took a dip, but just playing a good defense. What about Alex Smith starting this week? He didn't look bad. I watched the game. I watched the whole game, and
he never looked bad. I mean, he was always a
he threw
really
the game
good
away,
game manager. Like when he played, he was. We forget he got replaced by
Kaepernick,
but
then Mahomes.
Before that, he looked good in both teams.
Well, it was really good. Yeah.
His leg. Whew,
scary, right?
Just scary. I just feel like.
Did you see that injury to Kyle Allen?
I did. It looked bad. That scissor kick.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, scissor kick, and they're saying ankle is rough. But I don't know if I'm Alex, I say, hey, I did it. I came back. I'm done. I retired.
He looked good yesterday. Besides the last 2 drives, I mean, they baited him into that last interception, and it was bad.
How many surgeries that guy have to try to come back? 14.
Yeah, you watched that little piece they did on him, right?
Yeah, I would. Honest to God, crazy. I would. I thought he was going to come back, finish the season, and say I left the way I wanted to. I would right now. I would rush to the mic and say I'm done. Peace, because I don't know, man.
He could get another contract if he plays well. I'm telling you, yesterday he looked better than Allen after first series.
Does he want to walk with his kids when he retires? Because I mean, that's a bad injury he got. So I don't know. But anyways, I also had a Carr. He's looked good most of the year, but he did not look good on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know how Nick Foles got you to 21 points. That offense looks terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
And I liked Robinson in that game, but it's hard to watch them play football.
Montgomery's in a concussion protocol now, so he's hurt. So I don't know if they lose much, but they don't have another running back.
No,
Cohen's out, so I don't know who picks up that slack. Cordarrelle Patterson, possibly.
Cordarrelle Patterson is an interesting guy to pick up this week.
He's a better runner than he is a receiver, but the fact that he is a receiver, if somebody gave him a shot to be kind of a 3-down back, it could be pretty interesting.
Shades of Ty Montgomery.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, he really, big receiver, big runner. Yeah. So.
And what about tight ends here?
Kelsey, man, just put him in your lineup and never guess.
Yeah, and Waller's number 2, but he's a few points behind them every week.
Well, and the thing about Waller is he had 5 receptions and a touchdown, and he only scored 13 points. He just isn't getting the yards.
Yeah,
and that's why he's had great games and bad games. So
Noah Fant
hurt too.
He's hurt, but his name is escaping me. His the other tight end on the Broncos, he's out.
Yeah, he's out now. Yeah, I'm blanking on the name too, but
so Fant,
Jimmy Graham, Father Time, but 17 points. He's had multiple games where he's scored. He's finishing in double digits a whole lot. I don't think that you can go wrong starting him.
He's just one of those guys that I don't want to start.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, he's not a guy I like, but
Hawkinson was solid.
Yeah, he was, and
Ingram was solid too. Ingram got you 16 points.
Yes. How did Ebron do? Wasn't that
Ebron did?
What was the rookie was saying?
The rookie, yeah. I mean, he didn't have a great game. He scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was Eric Ebron.
Yeah.
If he doesn't score the touchdown, you're screwed. So,
one more that score. I had Irv Smith. Decent game. Showed up, 15 points.
Yeah, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Hey.
So I mean, if you're in a pinch,
nice and efficient.
You're in a pinch.
Nice.
Start Irv Smith. If you have about maybe 14 of the other guys in the league, I would start them over Irv Smith. It just seems like he's a red zone guy.
The troublesome thing for me is I am a big T.J. Hawkinson fan, if that's how you pronounce it. But
yeah,
I don't see much difference between him and Kelsey, or he is a stud.
Yeah,
but Detroit just can't, for the life of them, figure out how to use their talent. I think Swift is underused.
Yeah.
I think TJ is underused. I think if you put Andy Reid and Detroit with Matt Stafford in that offense, it'd be lights out.
Well, yeah, they got weapons all over the place. Gronk had let's not even talk about Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we mentioned him as a potential start, and that didn't go very well.
No, it didn't. That was terrible. I mean, nobody expected Tampa Bay to play like the old Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Because they looked like Jameis Winston Tampa Bay. Well, not even as good, because then at least Winston would have put 2 in the end zone to go along with the turnovers.
He would have had 4 interceptions, but he would have thrown 2 for touchdowns.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then, without going too deep here, there's not much. I mean,
I think we covered everybody, and what I would say is,
Eifert's a guy. If Luton keeps playing, you might want to scoop up and stash and see what he does.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a week Sunday, but I agree. Dalton Schultz, I'm off anybody in Dallas.
Another guy. Yeah, I mean,
Hunter Henry, another guy with promise who just doesn't perform.
I mean, I just don't think him and Air Bear have a real connection.
Air Bear. Jaceki, are we through with him? I mean,
no,
multiple games where he just doesn't look good.
Well, yeah, last week the whole offense, they had 92 passing yards. So I'd say, if you have him on your team already, if you drafted him, you hold on another week or two. I mean, what do you get? You're getting rid of him and getting who? I would want to see how it shakes out. Let Tagovailoa get a little more comfortable. I mean,
I would wait for a good game and trade that joker.
Well, that deadline's coming up this week. So, I mean, I say you hold on.
I don't know, 22 receptions, 331 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the season. It's just, he had a couple good games where he looked like a world beater, and then it's like they just forgot him.
Well, he had 7 this week?
5.
Yeah. Well, in this league, he had 7.
Oh, 7 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He had 3 receptions.
Yeah. I just think you got to give him time.
What about Mark Andrews? Is he? I just don't trust him.
What I said, he's the touchdown guy.
Yeah.
If he doesn't score, he doesn't get you home. And with Jackson playing poorly, I mean, there's a bunch of guys I'd start over him right now.
Is there something? Isn't Lamar Jackson on the Madden football cover this year?
Oh, the Madden curse you're talking about.
Yeah, isn't there? I mean, it might be something to it.
Yeah, I mean, most of the guys. I think it was broken a couple years ago, but
it was broken by McCaffrey, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, it was McCaffrey.
Yeah, but to me, like, Andrews is an interesting case. 5 touchdowns for the year. That's really good.
Yeah,
but he's had 2 in 2 games, so the rest of the season
he's boom or bust. He's
Yeah.
But
all right,
that's all we
got. Anything
right?
else?
No, I'm all right. Tapped out.
So what I would say as we get ready for our outro is subscribe, right?
Yes, please.
We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. Go to our YouTube channel. Spread the word. Send us out to your friends. Give us reviews and listen to us as we add more shows each week.
Yeah, subscribe, please. You don't have to listen. Just hit that button.
Yeah.
Finally. You know what I know, my arms open, hearts broken, fixing filled with this empty and broke. Oh, know what I know, hearts open, arms open. When I sin, I fall straight to my knees. Yeah, it's like we holding on to what he's hating. Lacking luster from the Father, cause there's no relation.